Freedmen Nation Super PAC, building political power through verified population. The Freedmen Nation Super PAC will be activated once Freedmen Nation reaches a verified population between 50,000 and 100,000 members. This threshold matters because political power must be built on a real verified population, not assumptions, slogans, or outside organizations speaking for us. Freedmen Nation is building an institutional structure where verified freedmen can be counted, organized, protected, and represented through a status-based framework. The Super PAC will not replace the Freedmen Reparations Fund Trust, Freedmen Nation, or the American Freedmen Legal Fund. Each has a different function. The trust protects assets, land, institutional authority, and long-term reparative interests. Freedmen Nation verifies and organizes the people. The American Freedmen Legal Fund supports pre-litigation advocacy and legal response efforts. The Freedmen Nation Super PAC will operate independently from the Freedmen Reparations Fund Trust and will follow all applicable federal campaign finance laws. The trust may establish the long-term institutional vision, but the Super PAC will be legally and operationally separate for political activity. It will not coordinate with candidates, campaigns, or political parties. Its work will be focused on independent political advocacy, voter education, public accountability, and freedmen-specific policy enforcement. Why the Super PAC will be activated at 50,000 to 100,000 verified members. A Super PAC should not be activated just to say it exists. It must be backed by numbers, structure, and public credibility. At 50,000 to 100,000 verified freedmen, Freedmen Nation will have enough organized population to begin influencing public policy, candidate positions, local elections, state legislation, and national conversations around freedmen-specific justice. This is the point where our verified population becomes more than a database. It becomes a political bloc. Politically neutral, freedmen-focused Freedmen Nation is politically neutral. We are not building political power for one party, one side, or one political machine. We are building political power for verified freedmen. The Freedmen Nation Super PAC will look for candidates on both sides who are willing to represent freedmen-specific interests. Our focus will be on policy, protection, accountability, and results, not party loyalty. If a candidate supports freedmen land protection, reparations policy, historical preservation, status-based recognition, economic repair, anti-displacement protections, and institutional respect for verified freedmen, that candidate should be evaluated on their actions and commitments. If a candidate ignores freedmen-specific harm, uses broad language without repair, or refuses to recognize our status-based interests, they should not expect automatic support from Freedmen Nation's verified population. The goal is simple. Freedmen Nation will not be politically owned. We will be politically respected. Core functions of the Freedmen Nation Super PAC. 1. Candidate accountability. The Super PAC will evaluate candidates based on whether they support policies that directly affect verified freedmen. This includes land protection, reparations policy, historical preservation, freedmen status recognition, economic repair, education, housing, and anti-displacement protections. Candidates will no longer be able to use general language while ignoring freedmen-specific issues. 2. Independent political spending. The Super PAC will be able to support or oppose candidates through independent expenditures, including ads, mailers, digital campaigns, video messaging, and public education efforts. This political activity will be independent and separate from candidate campaigns. The Super PAC will not coordinate strategy, messaging, spending, or campaign activity with any candidate, campaign committee, or political party. 3. Voter education. The Super PAC will educate verified freedmen and the broader public on where candidates stand on freedmen-specific policies. This may include voter guides, candidate scorecards, issue breakdowns, public statements, debate questions, and election season reports. 4. Policy enforcement. The Super PAC will help turn Freedmen Nation's institutional positions into political pressure. When cities, states, agencies, schools, corporations, or elected officials ignore freedmen-specific harm, the Super PAC can help bring public attention to those failures. The goal is not symbolic politics. The goal is enforcement. 5. Building a freedmen voting bloc. Once Freedmen Nation reaches 50,000 to 100,000 verified members, the Super PAC can help organize that population into a disciplined political bloc. That means candidates, parties, and elected officials will have to understand that verified freedmen are not politically invisible. We are measurable, organized, and capable of responding. 6. Protecting freedmen land and reparative interests. The Super PAC will support policies and candidates that protect freedmen land, family property, cemeteries, farms, historical sites, and inheritance rights. Land protection is not separate from politics. Many land threats come through public boards, like zoning decisions, local governments, development authorities, courts, and elected officials. The Super PAC will help make those issues politically visible. 7. Public messaging and media campaigns. The Super PAC will create public campaigns that explain freedmen-specific issues in plain language. This includes digital ads, videos, press statements, public reports, and rapid response messaging when freedmen issues are misrepresented or ignored. 8. Independent political pressure. The Super PAC will operate independently from candidates, campaigns, political parties, and the Trust's non-political operations. Its purpose is to represent the political interests of verified freedmen through lawful, independent political activity. It will not become an arm of any candidate, campaign, party, or public official. What this means for Freedmen Nation. The activation of the Freedmen Nation Super PAC will mark a major institutional step. It means Freedmen Nation will have moved from verification into political enforcement. It means verified freedmen will have a structure capable of influencing public policy. It means our issues will no longer be absorbed into broad racial language that does not specifically repair freedmen harm. It means we will be able to measure our population, organize our people, and apply political pressure where it matters. The larger mission. The Freedmen Nation Super PAC will be built for one purpose: to convert verified freedmen population into political power. We are not building this prematurely. We are building the population first. Once Freedmen Nation reaches between 50,000 and 100,000 verified members, the Super PAC will be activated as a political enforcement tool for freedmen-specific policy, protection, and accountability. This is how we move from being discussed to being represented. This is how we move from being counted by others to counting ourselves. This is how Freedmen Nation becomes a political force.